Hi, my name is Holly Loach, and I chose to focus my discussion board video question on can attachment theory explain abusive relationships? And I think that it certainly can. Honestly, this question brings me back to when I was studying the psychology of relationships at Liberty University. I think it was in my sophomore year, which feels really long ago, even though it wasn't too long ago. And in that class, we studied the psychology of relationships. We focused a lot of our time on a book called Why You Do the Things You Do by Tim Clinton and Gary Sibcy. And that book was really helpful in understanding how attachment theory goes further into adult relationships and how it affects adults in their everyday life and their relationships with one another, but also their relationships with the Lord. And so in Bowlby's original attachment theory, he focused more on how attachment was formed to help with survival. And so it was found in every animal with, well, not every animal, but with infant-mother relationships. It was found in those relationships to help the animal survive, but also helps humans survive as well, that it's nothing emotional or deeper with it. And then Mary Ainsworth did more research on attachment theory and also focused on kind of the caregiver-child relationship and how the child reacted when the caregiver left and the child was left with a stranger, or when the caregiver returned, and how the child reacted to the parent coming back. Typically, it was with the mother. And so from her experiment, she found that there were 3 attachment styles. There was secure attachment, avoidant attachment, and then like anxious attachment style. And then in Sibcy and Clinton's book, they discuss actually 4 attachment styles. So going off of, again, secure, anxious, avoidant, and then disorganized, which is actually a combination of avoidant and anxious together. So when someone has an avoidant attachment style, that can form an abusive relationship because the person is constantly not giving, anything in their relationship. They're going to be avoiding all emotional intimacy with the other person because they don't want to be hurt. And so in that, it can be abusive because they're choosing to neglect their partner in a sense, and they're not willing to give anything in it. An anxious attachment style, that could be that the person is very clingy to the other person and needing attention all the time and not being able to be on their own or like have any independence within the relationship. They always need the other person, and almost forms a codependent relationship. And so I think that can also be abusive to an extent, and not being fair to the other partner. And I would say that disorganized attachment styles, according to Sibcy and Clinton's book, I think that would be the relation or the attachment style that would lead to an abusive relationship the most, because the person is either avoidant or anxious, and so it's constantly going back and forth, and so nothing that the other partner is doing will be good enough. And they might, one day the person might be super avoidant and not wanting to have any intimacy with the other person. Another day the person might be super clingy and like always on top of them and not really giving them any freedom. And that can all just be like switch on a flip, like the flip of a coin. Like it can change at any time. And that puts the other partner in a really bad spot of not being able to function in a healthy, wholesome relationship. And if the person that has the unsecure attachment style is not getting their needs met, or feeling that the other person's meeting their needs, they can quickly turn abusive and become verbally abusive or physically abusive. So I think attachment style or attachment theory plays a big role in abusive romantic relationships. Thank you.